Let's get to this. All right, and we are officially back in the garage. All right, I said in my last video that I was wanting to do some modifications to the old girl, and that's what I'm finally gonna be doing. However, I did hit a really big stick the other day, and that resulted in a hose coming off of the radiator, and it was leaking some coolant, so that's what I'm gonna fix first. But I'm gonna start out, I'm gonna pop the front off. We're gonna check out the radiator, see if I can find the hose that came off, address that. This place is a mess, but I'm gonna be working with my Milwaukee 1/4" socket set. Oh yeah, actually gonna be the first time I'm gonna get to use it. 2 little bolts off the side, one there and one there. One more in the middle, and we got the front grill off. There you go. After this, everything that I need to disconnect is disconnected. Let's get to the front panel, which I think just pops out. All right. All right, just gotta unplug these lights. Just twist out, bottom grill part out, and find this leak. I honestly can't find out if there's a hole in anything, so what I'm gonna do tomorrow, I'm just gonna fill this thing back up with a bunch of coolant, start it up, and just wait and see if coolant starts falling out of somewhere. If it does, I'll just fix that spot. If not, move on to the wheels and tires. Alrighty, catch you on the morning. All right, back. All right, I filled my reserve back up. I'm gonna push this out, start it up, and see if I can find any leaks. I was just tapping the brake. That's real good. Figure out exactly where it is, then I'm gonna shut this off. Well, good. I know where it's leaking at. By golly, could be worse. Oh, this is so hard to film. Oh. Love laying on gravel. Hopefully I don't need to pull a bunch of stuff off. Well, I'm glad I found out where it was leaking. It's gonna last another night. I will catch you guys tomorrow. All right, this is taking way longer than it should have. I'm gonna take out this little sign that's in the back of my mini truck here, and then I'm gonna open up the little back hatch part here, and I'm gonna see if I can find where that leaky hose is at. So let's get to this. And I talked about the fact that I had this huge battery on my mini truck in the last video I posted about my mini truck. I'll post a link to it in the description. But long story short, the previous owner that I bought this off of had already beefed it up, and I just decided to leave it that way. The only reason I took off the battery was to get better access to this panel, be able to take it off and look at the motor better, and try and get away to that hose. But I ended up starting at the front, and I worked my way back. What we're working with here. I just can't figure out the best way to reach this daggone thing. Okay, so figuring some stuff out. I was laying just right here. I was trying to get down in here. Couldn't quite get my hand around to get to that little hose clamp. Came around to the front. Need to take off the housing for the air filter. All I gotta do is disconnect this hose, then disconnect this bigger hose, and then there's one bolt at the bottom I gotta take off. Once I pull that off, I should be able to get in, get to this bad hose, and pull it out. Let's see if we can do it. The MVP of trying to get this thing fixed was this Milwaukee battery-powered light. I'll post a link to it in the description if you want to get one. I use it a lot on this project, and I really liked how I could just pull one battery out, put another one in. It was super useful. One off. Oh, beautiful. Oh, my back is officially broken. All right, take the watch off. Actually, take my ring off. Thank you again. All right, I'm still having trouble getting in here to this hose I need to get out. I'm gonna have to take off the alternator as well, which I've never taken alternator off anything, but I've seen somebody do it, so give me a few minutes to take that off and we'll get to that hose. All right, I need one more number 13 wrench. I don't know if I have one in here, but let's just see. Oh yeah. Shout out to Crescent. Go ahead and take the belt off. Probably gonna break this belt, it's older than crap. It's probably been since NAMM since this thing's been fixed up. Or since this thing's been actually serviced, so. Throw these at the side. Why am I out of breath? Oh, yes. That is one dirty alternator. I'll probably blow that off before I put it back in. Alternator was right here. Air filter in the housing was right here. I'm gonna pull those hoses up. Man, I'm not taking anything else off. I'm gonna freaking get this. I got a pair at work too. They would work perfect. I need a pair of pliers that have a curved end. And it's hard to see and almost impossible to film, but the pliers that I have in my hand just were not cutting it. I needed a pair that were a lot smaller. So I decided just to stop what I was doing once I got to this step. And then I went down to the store and I just bought a smaller pair. I had to spend a little bit of money, but it was totally worth it, and it got the job fixed. These might be perfect. Nice and small. 6-inch and 5-inch. Getting them both. The little ones did it. I finally got up in there, and I got this hose disconnected. I'm gonna pull it out from the other side if I can reach it this evening, and then go get a new piece of hose. Got it. Okay, and as I was editing this video, I came to the realization that I never really said what this hose was specifically. I couldn't really get to any good spots to film it, so I never really talked about it that much, but I'm going to right now. This is a coolant carburetor hose. It goes on the back of the carb, and it brings coolant from the radiator up into it and cools something on it. Like I said, I'm not a mechanic. Don't know the ins and outs of it, but big chunk taken out of it. I said it was a stick. I did hit a really big stick, and then it started leaking afterwards. I'm not sure if something else went in there and hit it, but yeah. Coolant carburetor hose, big nick out of it, and that's what this was, and that's what I fixed in this video. All right, back to it. Busted my knuckle pretty good, obviously filthy. Yeah, that's the piece. Gonna run down to Boneheads. I got 20 minutes. Swap this out, at least get the piece in. I might put it in tonight, run this thing, we'll see. This part of the process was super easy. Just grab a new hose and the old hose, cut off the same size piece, grab the clamp off of the old hose, swap that onto the new hose, and I was done. I cannot begin to tell you how much easier that was to put in. I mean, it was just because that other one was just so hard up. Okay, last day putting this together finally. Let me go through what I gotta do. Okay, gotta put on the air filter and its cover again, the alternator, and obviously the battery, put all that stuff back on. I've learned a lot taking this thing apart, really, so that's cool. But yeah, all right, let's get to this. All right, alternator time. All right, alternator's hand tightened back in. Let's get it set with its belt. And I also wanted to note that whenever you put the air filter housing back on, there should have been 2 bolts, but I only had 1. So I just made do with what I had. Sheesh, that sucked. Not gonna lie. Let's see if this thing starts back up. Last thing before I turned the key and got it running, had to fill up the radiator again, put some more coolant in it, put some more water in it, filled up the overflow, and I was ready to roll. All right. And I thought it was gonna be really cool to get this shot with my tripod on the top of the Mini, and I was just gonna stand off and let it roll with my arms closed, but you'll see what happens. Ow! All right, moment of truth. Let's see if I hooked everything up correctly. I'm pretty sure I did. Let's start this bad boy up. Got it. All right, sweet. All right, that fixed it. All I gotta do now is put the seats back in and hope nothing rattles apart as I'm driving down the road later. But yeah, this is kind of a cool little way to get this fixed myself. I wanna make the vehicle as mechanically sound as possible before I start doing cool stuff to it, like making a light bar for it or painting it or putting new wheels and tires on it or anything like that. But that's gonna be coming. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. God bless. As always, have a good one. See you later.